Former police officer Mohammed Noor remains in jail tonight on charges he murdered Justine Damond.
A judge set bail at $400,000 at his first hearing this afternoon. Noor was charged yesterday with 1 count of third-degree murder and 1 count of second-degree manslaughter in Damond's death last July. Damond had called 911 twice that night to report what she thought was a sexual assault in the alley behind her southwest Minneapolis home. Noor has never given a statement to police, but his partner, Officer Matthew Harity, said that Damond approached the car so suddenly that he was in fear of his life. He even took his gun out of its holster, but didn't fire. The fact that Noor is facing charges is rare.
It's believed to be only the second time in Minnesota that an on-duty officer has been charged in a shooting. The only other case involved St. Anthony officer Geronimo Yanez, who shot Philando Castile. A jury found Yanez not guilty. Our Susan Elizabeth Littlefield is here right now. Susan, I know this is so rare that there's very little to compare it to.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Frank. Now, what we do know about both of these cases is that deadly force by an officer is considered lawful in Minnesota if the officer feels they are protecting themselves or someone else from great harm or death. So was Officer Noor doing that? That is the question at hand.
It's a crime scene people around the world remember. A life coach and yoga teacher killed by a police officer, mourned in Australia, mourned in Minnesota.
A decision to prosecute is not enough to ensure justice that heals our community.
Justine's friends reacted to a case the prosecutor admits won't be easy.
We have a daunting task in front of us.
That's because jurors give police officers like Noor more grace than they would another murder defendant, according to outside attorney Joe Friedberg.
Juries do give the cops the real presumption of innocence that everybody is entitled to, and that's why it's so hard to convict them.
He says one new major detail is that Officer Harity, who was also in the car, also reached for his weapon.
That is good evidence for Noor, because it shows that under the same circumstances, another officer reacted, at least initially, the same way.
Friedberg also predicts the charge of third-degree murder against Officer Noor will likely be short-lived, so it will come down to manslaughter or nothing. And he says we can expect plenty of expert witness testimony into Noor's training and split-second decision.
All in all, the thing that's going to be most interesting is a peek into the mindset of Officer Noor as he went up that dark alley.
Now, Friedberg said it was a huge move by the defense for Officer Noor to choose not to be interviewed by investigators. By law, he does not have to talk at all, ever. But it's possible, depending on how this case plays out, that we could hear his testimony for the first time on the witness stand, Frank.
Obviously, time will tell. Thank you, Susan Elizabeth.